What's good, people? Today, we're going to be checking out some reels that are going around social media that might make you ask some questions. Let's get it started. Welcome, everyone, back to the channel. Before we begin today's reels, this video was made for entertainment and educational purpose. That's a new one. I won't be trying that. And I hope none of you would either. I don't know what that was, to be honest. That did not look like a dive. It almost looked like he wanted to hit the back of his head on purpose.
In a dark scene, limited light from things like stars reflect off the scene and send some photons toward the image intensification tube. The lens focuses these photons onto the tube as an upside-down image, where they go through 3 steps. First, the photon hits a thin plate called a photocathode. When a photon hits the plate, an electron are accelerated through the vacuum tube via voltage. They head straight into another thin plate called the microchannel plate, and this is made from insulating material, often glass, with about 6 million tiny channels in it. These are all angled at about 5 degrees to get incoming electrons to collide with the channel walls. When they do, they release more electrons from the wall material, which collide even more with the walls, releasing more electrons, creating an electron avalanche. So a few electrons go in, and a flood of thousands come out. Then this flood of electrons leaves each channel and gets accelerated in a straight line by another high voltage to hit a phosphor screen. This is just a screen made of material that glows when exposed to radiation, so it converts the electron kinetic energy back into visible photons for you to see. So every photon that enters the tube gets multiplied thousands of times over while maintaining its position, which makes for a brighter but otherwise identical image. As a last step, there are 20 million optical fibers attached to the phosphor screen that twist the image right side up. In a dark scene...
Okay, forget how it works. My question is, how did they figure this out? Like, who thought about this? I don't know, but whoever did a good job. I heard about the red night vision that first came out. I don't know if you people heard of them, but supposedly people, I believe it was in the Vietnam War, where they were wearing some night vision goggles, but red ones instead of green ones. And I guess they were able to see things that, like, were not visible to the eye. And I read the story. The story goes that supposedly they were able to see demons. I don't know if that's what it was, but they were seeing some entities that were unknown. So, story goes that a lot of the soldiers that seen them started, opening fire towards them. But in reality, there was nothing there. I mean, you could see them with the goggles, but you couldn't see them without. So, them bullets was just flying. I don't know if it was based on the true story or if it was just a fairy tale. But I did read about red night vision goggles prior to the green ones. So, and then they were just discontinued. But I mean, I don't know if that really took place or not, but there is a story out there about it. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, that bullet wasn't doing a damn thing to that tungsten. Is that what it's called? I don't even know what that is, but yeah, it didn't let the bullet get through.
Information generated by the computer will be useless unless man can develop faster and easier means of getting at it. One new method displays the results of computation in pictorial form. It is called graphics. The computer does the menial arithmetic of reducing soaring design to scale and permits the designer to concentrate on aesthetics. This prototype graphic computer offers the engineer a choice of views of a car roof, and the man makes his selection with an electronic light pen. He can, with the touch of a pen, ask the computer to enlarge the drawing. The computer obeys, making in an instant the necessary calculations to show a smaller but enlarged area of the roof in exact scale.
That area right in there? Let's take in that center line.
Very good.
Enlarge that corner again.
Graphic systems represent a new use of computers, which make communication between man and machine easier than ever before. Information generated.
Computers have come a long way. Man, back then, people had fun with the simple things of life. Straight up. Oh, that looks interesting. If I was to ever fly something like that, I would only keep it a couple of feet off the ground. I wouldn't go up too high. See, that's what I'm talking about. That type of technology is just awesome. Any prosthetic, I guess this is robotic, but it I could see it helping a lot of people in need that are missing limbs. This is awesome. That's what they need to be working on. Things like that. Not no dog bots and God knows what else. But yeah, this right here, thumbs up. It does look like styrofoam. I'm not gonna lie. Who knows what it is? But, weirdness is everywhere nowadays. Nah, no way. I mean, I don't doubt it. Creatures are smart, but is that what it's doing? I hope this is not true. Cause if they're doing that, bro, that's next level. I just throw him a lifesaver and hope for the best for him, bro. Straight up, I'm not going in the water.
Wood. That's what London used to be. Used to be all wood. For the horses. Amazing.
I thought those were bricks.
They've been keeping this from you. This is the underground city that was found beneath Los Angeles by a man named Warren Schufelt. It was discovered using a device he invented to detect underground tunnels and caverns. Schufelt mapped out a network of passageways stretching for miles beneath the city. And here is where it gets crazy. His maps indicated a central chamber filled with gold and advanced artifacts. Schufelt said that upon analysis of the artifacts and the scriptures found within the passageways, they all pointed to a lost continent named Lemuria. Despite his groundbreaking findings, city officials abruptly shut down his excavation. They officially claimed that the tunnels were old subway lines, but this is where they messed up. The Los Angeles subway system didn't begin operation until 1990, over 70 years after Schufelt's discovery. So what subway lines were they referring to? Some speculate that they were referring to an ancient civilization that had access to a subway-like system. Some have even gone further to say that the city officials had knowledge from the future. They knew that Los Angeles would eventually have a running subway system in the years to come. Therefore, it would be the perfect cover-up, perfectly concealing its true origins. They've been keeping this from...
What? Is this real? I mean, there is tunnels. No doubt about that, but I don't know, man. What do you guys think about this clip?
A hot water knife. Not for hot water, of course, but for cold butter. The heat of the water warms the blade, the warmth of the blade melts the butter, and the melted butter spreads easily on the bread. Here's an eye-opener in the shape of a tin opener, or rather a lid loosener. A turn of the handle and it holds the lid in a vice-like grip. And why didn't someone think of a sieve in a saucepan before? When pouring off the gravy or the soup, the solids remain. Homework for golfers, and some of them need it. Good practice with iron and putter that might in time teach a beginner that there is a difference between a golf club and a croquet mallet. A safe controlled by magnetism, but proof against the magnetic personality of a burglar. The key is a magnet, and even more attractive, the contents. A combined fork and spoon. The very idea if you don't know which to use with the spaghetti. You know how easily you can break an egg by dropping it with a sickening thud into a saucepan? Well, this device puts a stop to that. Like that. One side's a dessert spoon and the other's a tablespoon. And so long as you're careful to use the right side, the saving in time and trouble is considerable. Here's a spanner that fits any nut without any adjustment. With it, you can take your car to pieces in 5 minutes. A hot water knife.
Man, inventions from the past were way better, durable, simple, and they would last forever. Nowadays, anything that you get breaks down in a couple years and you gotta get something else. Instead of getting better in life, we're just taking some steps backwards, straight up.
This is the SW-36 anti-aircraft searchlight developed by Germany during World War II. In the era without radar, the SW-36 can emit strong light directly at enemy aircraft. In 1953, China used it to shoot down U.S. aircraft. The strong light not only helps anti-aircraft gunners and pilots to quickly lock targets, but also blinds enemy pilots, causing mistakes or even crashes. The light source of the SW-36 consists of 3 carbon rods. When powered on, it generates an arc, emits strong light, and is focused into a beam by a concave mirror. Its brightness reaches 135 million lumens, far exceeding the 10,000 lumens of modern car laser headlights, and the brightness is amazing. When the searchlight is running at full power, it can illuminate an altitude of more than 1,500 meters and has a detection range of more than 5 kilometers. Due to its extremely high power consumption, it needs to be equipped with a BMW inline 6-cylinder engine for power. This is the SW...
What? I'm telling you, the inventions from back in the days were something else. I think we need to start bringing those inventions back. Yeah, this is the type of things we don't need. What is this, like a Terminator dog bot? It's packing heat and it can swim. Man, I'm telling you, bro, these people are just focusing on the wrong things. How is this gonna help humanity?
It's a project first dreamed up by the military to get information from the battlefield.
They call it smart dust, and the new technology may soon make it possible to keep track of anything, anywhere, including you.
Smart dust originated with DARPA back in the 90s. This powder-sized chip is something called the Mu chip from Hitachi. It's the smallest commercially available RFID system in the world. You can literally scatter this stuff like dust or embed it into a sheet of paper. It doesn't require a battery. Flecks of computing power settling on your skin, ingested, monitoring you inside and out.
The nanoparticles are designed to go under the radar of the immune system. And so they are undetected in the body.
We have computing everywhere, we have connectivity everywhere, we have infrastructure that can compute those with new capabilities like AI.
If you have enough data and you have enough computing power, you can understand people better than they understand themselves, and then you can manipulate them in ways which were previously impossible.
Transhumanism is a growing movement that aims to use technology to modify our bodies, sometimes in radical ways to make them stronger, faster, and better.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. See, like, why? Why do you need this? Like, it's as if somebody's trying to keep tabs or something, but for what? I don't like this smart dust. And that Forbes article came out in 2018. Man, almost 10 years ago. Can you imagine the smart dust they have nowadays? No bueno.
Deep inside this mountain lies one of America's most heavily guarded secrets. This is the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, built to withstand everything from nuclear blasts to EMPs. But what's really going on down there? This facility was designed during the Cold War to protect the most sensitive government operations. Hidden beneath 2,000 feet of solid granite, it's basically a small underground city with its own water supply, power plant, and even a massive door that weighs 25 tons. They say it could survive a direct nuclear hit. Deep inside this mountain...
25 tons? Are you serious? I'm telling you. That is just amazing. What? Oh man. See, I'm telling you, there's simplest things. Just do the job and get the job done. For a minute there, this clip had me waiting for a portal to open up.
Did a video on a while ago that can actually be used to blow out a flame. Watch it start spinning. Watch what happens when I put it in front of it now. It blows out the fire. It makes it look like there's this digital fan in here that's blowing out the candle. But what's really happening is it's playing a specific frequency that's able to move the air strong enough to blow out the candle. So this app's pretty cool, but if it was just using sound from a speaker, what if we just supersize this whole setup? Could we actually put out bigger fires with sound? Well, it turns out this idea isn't new. I found a video that was made a few years ago about 2 college students who used big bass sound waves to put out a fire. So I made a device that amplifies the sound waves and aims them using a big bass speaker and a vortex cannon. Let's see if it works. Okay, here we go. Turn on the bass. Now we can easily put out the fire. Whoa! When I first saw this, I thought it was really dumb. It's just blowing the fire out. But it's not really as dumb as you think. Let's compare this to trying to blow it out with a large fan. You can see that as I blow air on it, it doesn't go out very easily. When you blow on the fire with a fan, you're introducing new oxygen for it to react with, so it doesn't put out the fire very well. But when you just wiggle the air with sound, it doesn't introduce new oxygen, but it just wiggles the air so it can get rid of the heat without introducing new oxygen. So what music do you think firemen should play at fires from now on? I found an app.
Well, looky here. This is a drone that uses the speaker that plays that sound that eliminates fire. Why are we not using this?
Did a video on.
Same question I'm asking. If that could put out fires, why isn't there like a bunch of 50-inch speakers and out in the Amazons and all them spots where the fires just be coming through? That's neat. That's something. I know that frequencies do a lot more than just sounds and little figures if you add small grains of sugar, salt, or sand, but for it to put out fire, that is bad. I mean, it makes sense. The fan can't really do much because it's introducing air into the flame, so I could see why, you know, they might struggle to turn off some fire with it. But that speaker or whatever that he created with that frequency was something else. It was actually very precise. Props to him, or to whoever found this out. Man, frequencies, I'm telling you, they even make babies stop crying.
This is the apocalypse. Every truck has been blown over. Shit, there's trucks. Oh my god.
Look up the side of the freeway.
Holy fuck, there's trucks everywhere lying sideways.
Up ahead.
Everywhere. Everywhere. Holy fuck. Are these people okay? Everyone is sideways. This was like the 8th truck. Oh my god. Oh, look at these trucks. They're smart. They're hanging out against the wall because that's where they can't fall.
Well, also the wall will block the wind a bit too.
Oh my god.
First off, I hope all those drivers are fine and okay. I hope they're not seriously injured. But you gotta give props to them 18-wheelers that were by that wall. I mean, you could tell that they thought about it quick. They seen what was happening and they were like, hey, I see a wall there, we better just post up. And they saved themselves a migraine headache, because now you gotta hear your boss because of the merchandise. It didn't get to where it had to go to. It's probably damaged. Probably can't even sell it anymore as is. And that's just the merchandise, if it was loaded. Which it probably wasn't, because maybe the load would have helped them with the weight. But if it was, and if it wasn't, you still gotta deal with the insurance and make sure you're okay. Because if somebody wasn't wearing a seatbelt and they get flipped, yeah, they're gonna get tossed to the other side of the cabin. But I don't know. That's 80-mile wind. That is something else. It was a lot of trucks too. Man. What a day that was, I bet, for all the truck drivers in Fontana. Is that where they're at? Fontana, California? Yeah, man. All the truck drivers near Fontana are gonna be afraid to pass through there. This was just no one, two truck incident. It was, I seen, man, there must have been at least 10 to 15 trucks that got flipped. That wind in Fontana is something else. But thank goodness for that wall and for them drivers that thought about getting help from the wall. Props to them for thinking fast and acting and not being hit. Gotta give props to them. Well, folks, it's about that time for me to clock out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, just so you won't be a hater. Share this video with your family, friends, and anybody you bump into on the streets based on the fact. Hope everybody stays safe out there, be cool, and I'll see you on the next one.